Alright, so welcome to this new video. Today I will discuss what Binance has been doing in the last couple of months, which is including margin trading to their website. As you can see, before you can only use exchange, and now they have added a new tab which says margin. And I will not explain everything about margin trading, but share my ideas and why I think it is good and bad, especially on Binance. So before, I want to show you my balance right now. It's only 0.013. The reason for this is I'm currently only testing their margin trading, and therefore I don't have a lot. I just want to play with $150 right now, in order to probably have an opinion um, on how to use their Binance margin trading account. So pretty much what it is you can leverage your total equity, right? Um, I already assume that you have some knowledge on what margin trading is, but pretty much if you go on exchange, which is normal, uh, what happens is if you have, let's say, one Bitcoin, you can deposit it here and then you can sell it on the exchange, and then you can kind of speculate on fluctuations, right? Volatility, either up or down. With margin, you don't really have to do that. You will have to deposit some to have collateral, but you don't need to play with everything. And you can also play with Binance Bitcoin. So I will show you that right now. I have this amount um, on my account. And what we can do here, once you go on exchange, you can see here there's nothing on this side. But if we go on margin, you can see some extra functions. So it has a risk calculator, which you can see right here, what it means and how it is calculated. So margin level equals the total asset value divided by total borrowed value plus the total accrued interest value. Pretty much this is what you own divided by how much you borrowed, coming down to the real basics. So if you borrow a lot, you will get a higher risk, and if you borrow just a few, you will get uh, a low risk profile. Now, let's see what's currently happening with the market. I think it's gonna go down, assuming that it has gone up quite a lot. Does it has to retest any important key levels? Well, probably some on the short term. So we can kind of sell. So I already have some Bitcoin laying around on the side, which I can sell, but I can increase my earnings if I borrow some, sell it, rebuy at a cheaper price, and then I can just return it to Binance, uh, making additional profit without owning so much. That's what margin trading is, right? So we can click on borrow, and I have here a repay selection, but since I don't have any borrowings yet, I cannot repay anything yet. So first we need to borrow. Now, when you are borrowing Bitcoin, or also you can just, let's say, I don't want to sell any Bitcoin, or I don't want to deposit any dollars, I can also pretty much borrow dollars or USD Tether, right? But right for now, we're gonna go quote unquote short uh, and borrow Bitcoin. So with that, it comes with an hourly interest rate. So you pay interest based on every hour. But it's not really every hour, it's pretty much every second. But the rate is this per hour, and you will see what I mean. So how much I've borrowed, which is of course nothing because I'm testing it with you right now. And maximum borrow amount is 100% of what you currently have in assets. So if I go 50%, it will give me that amount that I have here on my balance. And if I go 100, it will be simply doubling that. So for now, I'm just going to do a 50% leverage, and we're going to go all in short, pretty much. And this is only for educational purposes and also for demonstration purposes. I would not recommend doing this right away. It's just to show you, right? So we're going to confirm with borrow, and now we can see we have actually doubled our Bitcoin, and we still have a low profile of 1.99, and it gets interesting when you hit 1.4. So according to their calculator, which I would never assume is low risk, because every time you're borrowing, you have some risk, which is not definitely not low. But yeah, as you can see, we have doubled our Bitcoin, and we're gonna go actually to a market sell. Don't forget to never do limit unless you want to lock in some profits. But for your first open trade, go for a market or a limit that's above the current market. Well, we can do a limit above the market for now. So we're gonna sell all the Bitcoin that we currently have. So the one that I have personally and the ones that I have borrowed. And we're gonna sell it at a little bit above market, which is right now 10. We can go 15. Or let's actually make it 10 since it already dropped some. So we can sell Bitcoin, and now it actually went above. So I probably have sold it. There we go. It has some confirmation that I sold, and it was another test before. So now it's already below 10, and now we can initiate a limit rebuy of my Bitcoin at a lower price. So it will go automatically. So let's see how much I got. I got 290. I can confirm here how much I got, 290 and 72, because I had some extra. Yes. Okay, and now we can kind of have a limit order, which is gonna make me some profit, right? So let's say if the market is already going down a little bit. Let's say if I have a order at 400 exactly, and I want to spend all my USD, US dollars, I will get so much Bitcoin, which is 276,279. So I would make a 0.0003 Bitcoin profit. Now, you have to take into consideration when you're doing leverage trading and you have an hourly interest rate that this is going to be hit pretty soon, and it doesn't take longer than the hours where your profit, so the 0.0003, is not taken up by the hourly interest rate. So I can actually just buy this because it will just not confirm. It will just stay around here for a second, and I don't know if it's going to be dumping anytime soon. But once again, it's for demonstration purposes. So now we go back to borrow, and now we can actually repay our debt. And I can show you here as well. I refresh the page, and we go to our margin account, and now it says our equity plus our debt, and now it says our total balance, right? And our risk profile has also changed. You can see here the current equity and equity value in Bitcoin. So since I borrowed 100% of what I currently have, and I sold everything, I'm at a minus equity value. However, my total balance is still my equity, which is what I personally own, plus what I currently have borrowed from Binance, and that together is my total balance. So don't think that you double your money instantly. This is just your debt plus your equity is your total balance, and you have to repay your debt, and I will show you that as well. So now we are currently at a loss, as I can see from my tab. The price is going up. Let's see what I can do right now. Maybe I can just, because I sold, well, that's almost no profit. How much would I get if I do this? I would have to cancel this. 669, and here I get 66 that. Well, I can try this. Let's make at least a little bit of profit, if that's possible in this video. goes back up. Otherwise, I'm just gonna cut some losses. It's gonna be a couple cents anyways. I don't really care too much. And it's also for testing and for this video. Did I deposit it on Binance? Yeah, okay, sure. I would just cut some losses. I don't really care. So I'm just gonna do a market buy right now. So we go market. So I will pay the current price that the market is offering, and I want to buy 100% of my Bitcoins back. So now I would make a loss of, let's see, 0.000061, or a little bit less, 50 something. Anyway, that's not too bad. So I'm just gonna buy it. Not enough balance. Okay, I make a little bit less because the market went up. Insufficient balance. Once again, you kind of have to be quick with this. I don't know why. Or I can just do a market because the price is back down. Let's do a market of 15. That's kind of fair. And now we kind of have to wait it for it to reach 15. And while it does so, I might as well want to talk about my opinion on Binance margin trading. One thing is, it is good because people can have the option to leverage their position. You see this also with companies, right? Stock traded companies such as Coca-Cola, they have some debt. I can show you. And we go right here to Trading View. Let's go to Coca-Cola. Let's go to more. And you can see here their total debt and the total assets, right? So they're leveraging their equity with having some debt. Therefore, they can do more stuff, pretty much. They're borrowing to invest, etc., etc. So a lot of companies do this. One company I really like that doesn't do this is LiveChat. They don't have any debt. There we go. Total debt, they have 0. So if you invest in this company, you actually don't have any debt as a share owner or shareholder. So that's one thing I like and why I invest in that. But Coca-Cola is also a really good company. Bunch of companies, Apple also does it. They have debt, right? There we go, total debt. They have a lot of debt. But putting that aside, it is sometimes beneficial to leverage it. But the problem is crypto is so new and so volatile that sometimes you don't even know your order has passed through. So actually I rebought my Bitcoin, and just to be for the sake of time, and since we're paying interest, I'm just going to show you right now how to repay. So once you go and you're done with your trade, you will see here repay your debt, right? So my total balance is this right now. We have our hourly interest rate, right? It says it here. That is the hourly interest rate, and then this is the amount that we borrowed initially. So this, or B, plus our hourly interest rate, A, is our total debt, and that's the one that we have to repay. So we go here, or you can repay in steps, but I would not see any benefit in that if you can just repay everything at once, because otherwise you would be paying more and more interest. Repay, and now our low risk profile has gone to 999, aka no debt. And again, we don't have anything here. So to continue my train of thought on margin trading, I think it is good, but I also think it's really bad because I believe that if you don't have the money to invest, don't invest, because if you're going to be borrowing and your trade goes bad, you already don't have any money to invest, you're only going to have more trouble and more trouble. I only think that margin trading is good for those that are sophisticated enough to trade in the markets and properly hedge with both a long position and a margin position, which is either a long or a short. If you can properly do that, and if you have no idea what I'm talking about right now with hedging, going long and short, I would not recommend doing margin trading either for crypto or stocks or for anything. Don't do it. Go ahead and play with the market on regular exchange with buying and selling with your own equity, and don't borrow with someone else's equity uh, to make your trades, unless you know some inside information, but that would be, of course, illegal. But with inside information, of course, you can make a lot more profits because you would be doubling or even more your equity, which will return in a much more profitable return, of course. But once again, inside information is not allowed. Or if you have some really nice gut feeling, let's say like that, margin trading can be okay. But I would not recommend it to anyone that's investing in his or her first year. Just don't do it at all in your first year. Maybe if you have a lot of money and just, well, I don't want to say I have a lot of money, but for me, the $100 that I have in my account just to play around, I find that okay. And if you have a lot of money and $100 is nothing for you, um, sure, try it, but it's highly not recommended. The point where I would recommend is once you know how to properly hedge with long and short positions, um, and pretty much once you have enough equity to leverage it. If you don't have enough equity, for example, $100, you will not really get far. Margin trading is decent, I would say, with Bitcoin at the current price, going every day 1% of at least, quick calculations in my head, but I would say at least 2,500, so you can leverage it up to 5,000. So half a Bitcoin. If you can have 250 or $2,500 and borrow $2,500, so have a total balance of right, total balance of 0.5 Bitcoin, then I would say go ahead. You have enough equity to actually do some margin trading, and I would of course not do 100% selling and because that would not work. Just try to do 25 or 50. Don't go all in because that would also not really work. You can really lose everything. So don't do that, in my opinion. If you want to do it, you are free, but that's just my opinion. And the last thing I wanted to say is that Binance is hugely profiting from margin trading. And I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with the money that they're going to be earning. But I don't like the platform Binance. However, if you want to go on it, I'll drop a link, my referral link in the description. But I do not like this platform. I don't like currently any platform to trade on besides Bittrex and a little bit of KuCoin. That's my only two exchanges that I properly trade, buy and sell my crypto assets. Binance is just terrible in my opinion. And if you want me to make another video on why, sure, I will do it. But I don't think it's applicable in this video necessarily. But they're doing quite some stuff that I don't like, that are not good for their customers. So, aka you, the normal person that's trading crypto, they're not doing us a favor. But yeah, that's pretty much what I had to say about margin trading and a little bit of a tutorial on Binance. So thank you for watching and see you next time.